The only mandate he supports is to get it on. Adam Carolla.
Yeah, get it on. Got to get it on. No choice, but I got a mandate to get it on. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling a friend. We love that about you, right, Gina Grad?
That's right.
And Ball Brian.
Get this piece of shit off the air.
Well, got some Sonic Kismet coming your way.
Good band name.
Yeah. So as we tape this on a Friday, I'll be heading out to 5 Point Amphitheater or something. It's not Irvine Meadows anymore, but that direction. And Blues Traveler shall be playing along with Jewel.
Nice.
John Popper just keeps telling me how great she is. Like, oh, she's doing things vocally. She's yodeling. Oh, nice. He's really. It's interesting because John really is kind of a student of music, and he brought Jewel on, and he wasn't like that totally. He hadn't seen her live, and he's like, she's just killing it, man. She's doing all these things every time I talk to him. And it's weird because, you know, sometimes when people share the same stage, like comedians or something, they'll go, his set was okay. you know, but they don't
get there.
They don't wax poetic and glow and gush, and he's gushing. So
nice.
Well,
are you going to get there in time to see the opening act? At this point, kind of have to.
Yeah.
He's a secure man, or he would not gush, but it's interesting. The gushers are secure, you know, like John's such a great vocalist that he's able to heap tons of praise on Jewel. But so because John Popper's John Popper, he's this very thoughtful guy, and he must be sober. I don't know, because you know, I talked to him a couple of weeks ago, said, well, I won't be able to see you in Red Rocks, but I'll come out and see you in Irvine. And I just kind of let it go. And then I'm busy as shit. But I had planned on sending him a text like the night before just to see where they were at. I was going to remind him, hey, we're coming out. But, of course, he got hold of me first yesterday afternoon. Like, hey, still coming, got tickets, here's my manager's number, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, yeah, we're coming out. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to bring Sonny. And then he writes, then he writes back. He goes, I say, are you going to do this song that I like? The one Chris, we didn't have, or maybe we had some footage of it at Red Rocks, but one of our friends was there and said he dedicated it to me, or he shouted out to me.
Right. Yeah, I have some footage
regarding Stephen. I think it's a song. So I like that one. So then I write him back and I go, and so he writes back and he goes, I checked. It's not my turn to pick the set, which. I don't know. You love that about the guy.
Amongst the band?
It's like he's the lead guy. He should be able to just pick the set. But
you'll hear about this in football. You know, the guys from Pittsburgh, they're playing in Pittsburgh that weekend. Hey, can I have a couple of your content because I got family in town or whatever?
Yeah, but it's not his turn to pick the set. So he said, I checked regarding Steven with I can't remember the name of the band member whose turn it is to create the set, and he said okay. So
John, that's nice. Mighty nice of him.
John vetted it, and he said fine. Now John can sing his ass off while that guy plays the bass or what have you. And then so I said, oh, okay. And then he said, he wrote a text that said like, hey, you want to come out and do a little backup singing?
What?
They're not going to have your mic on.
What?
This is going to be a Linda Eastman situation.
You're going to have a tambourine like Yoko.
That was covered. Oh, wait, we'll play a little bit from Red Rocks?
Yeah, this is right after he dedicated the song to you.
Oh, okay. Great rock band live. And I was thinking about that song, but I didn't play it when we were talking about playing UFO. So then I said to John, what song shall I be backing?
Hitting the oohs and ahs on.
And he said, well, for the first time on tour, and I don't know how the math works, but we have 3 bass players.
Oh.
Wow.
And they're all available to come out on stage. So we're going to play a song that we never play that needs a lot of bass players. And I said, okay, what song is this? And Chris will play. It's got a bottom theme to it. He goes, we're opening with Big Bottom.
Oh, they're opening.
Yes.
Wow, bold.
So,
yeah, that is a choice.
and the lead guy from Train is going to be out there
Oh, wow.
singing.
God.
And so he's like, so we need you there ready when we go out.
Wow.
Because
Better that way, because then you can drink afterwards.
That's
Right,
right.
it's over.
Yes.
That's
Are you
right.
going to be practicing? Do you know where you come in? What your key
he
is?
sent me the lyrics. I don't know. He literally goes, we'll have your mic turned down. It won't be too hot. Don't worry about it. And I was like, there is no back. There's just
Yep.
But we'll be doing Big Bottom.
that's
And I
fucking
think John
awesome.
is going to nail Big Bottom because he's got the range for that song.
That's incredible.
That's going to be great.
I know. I was like, oh, that's so fun. It's also fun when I saw the Barenaked Ladies. They did in the middle of their set, they did the theme to Happy Days.
Cool.
But they
I love an
really
inspired
did
cover. I
it, you
love a
know?
good
And
inspired
it's
cover.
like, this is what happens when you get to a certain age and a certain place in your career, and you don't have to be all serious and do these
Yeah.
Oh.
MTV interviews and stuff. I mean, Blues Traveler always had a sense of humor, but you're working out of the system now. We're not worried about what the next album is,
Right.
and is it going platinum and all that. And then you get to the stage where you get to have fun.
Yeah. That's gonna
And
be-
nobody,
that's gonna be
no one in the
insane.
audience would ever complain if
Oh,
you
no.
pick a couple of cover songs, especially inspired or fun ones.
No, that's going to be what people are talking about.
Yes.
I saw the almost famous British band Travis do an inspired cover of The Weight by the band, which is great. But what they really got known for, and this was very inspired because they took it in a new direction and made it their own. They did a cover of Baby One More Time
Oh,
by
boy.
Britney Spears, and it became kind of a minor hit like on rock radio. Do we have some of that?
Travis had a K-Rock hit.
Yeah,
What
I
was
think
their hit?
it was Why Does It Always Rain on Me was a minor hit. Driftwood was kind of a minor hit. I mean, they were like almost there. They
remember them.
almost got over the hump.
I remember
Writing
them
to Reach You.
from K-Rock.
Yeah, they were a Scottish band,
Oh.
but they never quite hit it out of the park.
Chris has Barenaked Ladies ready with Happy Days. I didn't even know that was on the internet.
That was good.
That's awesome.
This is why being in a band must be the best thing ever, because
You can do whatever you want.
you see how joyful everyone's having a good time. You know, people do that with, they think other performing's that way, but stand up, if you're kind of thinking about like, what is the next thing? What are we going into? That guy's just playing the piano and he's back in his mom's dining room in 1977. Now he's just getting paid.
That's right. While they look for Travis, I'll hit you with a little bit of music. Not trivia, just something I learned. Speaking of, I thought of it because he mentioned John Popper. You've heard the phrase "belting it out."
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard it.
A
What
belter.
do you know what that means?
No.
Okay, I'm like everyone.
And
else.
I grew up being told
I
you're
don't know
a
what its
belter.
origin is.
Like
but-
everyone else, I just thought it meant like you're fucking belting it out,
Yeah.
like you're just letting it fly.
Yeah.
I don't know if Dawson or Chris know this. Belting is a kind of singing. Like it's that growl. You've heard it in 1,000 songs. John Popper does it all the time. Is that growl when you're singing? You get a little bit of that
Right.
growl going. That's a belt.
Really?
Yeah, that is.
Because in musicals, you're a belter if you're able to really project loudly.
It is.
what I know of, yeah.
It has kind of become synonymous with just letting it fly and letting it go. being loud.
So a belt is that sound.
Is that growl? John
So-
Popper does it all. He'll do it 20 times in concert.
I've never.
was
I just learned it.
I'll count tonight. Is would a Bengal tiger belt
I believe it's a specific to a style of singing.
style of singing?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
A growl would be what an animal does.
So
I think a belt is like what Whitney Houston does, like when she just lets it fly.
Yeah,
but
that's
there's still
what
a
it's sort of
note, like
known
it's still a
as.
solid note.
I
I've
just
never heard
told
of
you a
any-
fact, and for some reason you decided to hit me with what you think.
well, he
well,
feels in his heart.
My truth is that a
truth.
belt is
Google's truth is derives from the idea of belting your opponent in the boxing ring.
Okay, I
Belting
just told
out a
you guys
song.
facts. This must be
Where
how
did
you
this
feel.
fact come from?
A singing coach.
Because I've been singing
A
since I was 10 years old privately, and I've never heard this in my life.
I've gone down the rabbit hole of watching singing coaches on YouTube judging other singers, and it was actually Amy Lee from Evanescence. She did a belt. Like, oh, nice belt right there.
All right. Well, see, that's why. You'll
telling
learn. All right. So.
Do you guys want to hear Travis?
Oh, yeah. What'd they say?
It's Inspire Baby One More Time by Britney
okay.
Spears.
I like that.
Good.
Makes up for your belting fact.
What is now Chris going to find Travis's K-Rock? They had a K-Rock hit in the 90s or the later 90s. I recall from being on K-Rock.
It looks like their biggest song is Writing to Reach You, so it seems like that's a song we'd know, but the title doesn't do anything for me.
Well, if we hear it, maybe we'll know it. Shifting gears, Gina's got some hot laundry talk.
It's
I'm
true.
interested in.
Hit us with a fact.
Now, the Recyclarolla was genius. I think we
you.
can all get on board with that. But somebody has sort of adapted it and possibly taken it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
I went down a random rabbit hole. I like these invention accounts on Instagram and, all these like cool design things. And this, I was like, oh, this is something that Adam should have in his house. See that hole? There's a hole in the wall. Mm-hmm. And it has like a little like tab attached to it. And it's not just any laundry chute. Watch what happens when
does it suck
activates.
the laundry? Yes,
Exactly.
I've seen this.
You throw it sort
Throw
of
it.
toward the wall, it sucks it in, and it's gone.
The hole's about 6 inches around.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And, you go, it's not a very big hole. It's the size of a lid of a big can of beans or something.
Yeah, like a pickle
but
jar.
how big's a sock
Yeah.
or T-shirt, especially with some vacuum action?
Mm-hmm.
How do you like that?
No, that's nice. I don't know whether to. It's weird. When does it kick on, or how do you kick it on? I will tell you, there's a couple of. I have a house that has two things that are the built-in blender, countertop blender from the 50s and the 60s. We've talked about this before. There's kind of. There's innovation that you use, and then there's kind of innovation that you don't really need, but it's still innovation.
Yeah.
So, I'm just sort of thinking, in your car, there's the rain-sensing wipers. So, most all new cars, I'm guessing all new cars now, when it starts raining, the wipers just sort of come on. Mm-hmm. It's fine, but kind of unnecessary.
Yeah.
I've never really not been able to turn my wipers on. It's right
Flick
by
with
my
a finger.
hand. You
Yeah.
flick it. I get it. It's kind of cool. Sometimes it'll misfire, and not even misfire, but like the car in front of you is blowing the wiper spray and it goes over the car and it hits your windshield and yours will come on, and maybe you wanted it to, maybe you didn't, but I'm fine with that. Then there's all this weird innovation from the 50s and the 60s, like the kitchen of the future, and the toasters built into the countertop, and the thing that drives the blenders built in with the 6-speed whatever.
Because you'll never want to replace that.
I moved into a house, like a 70s house, 60s house that had that innovation, but it only works with one blender.
That's what I'm saying.
And it broke.
Yeah.
And now what?
And we never had another. No one ever. There was no. Oh, I'm going to go online and find It was a glass blender. It hooked up. It dropped in. Had a kind of male female spline drive. We never replaced it.
No.
It just sat on the counter, and we had an actual blender sitting on top of
There's
it.
an albatross.
Yes,
the rest of your life.
I live in a house that has the whole house vacuum, which is a complete and utter waste of time.
I told you, Christy, your grandparents' house had that.
It's like you drag out this thing that's twice as heavy and twice as big and twice as cumbersome as an actual vacuum now, especially since they're all battery operated.
Imagine outlets, Gina,
Yeah.
where you would just plug the thing, the tube.
You'd plug the tube in. You'd also plug the jack in for electrical too, and then but then you drag this thing to the next room. Well, now Bissell or whomever,
Dyson,
they
yeah.
make a battery-operated
A
one.
long
It's a
stick.
stick that's twice as light and twice as...
So this innovation doesn't account for future innovation.
Yes, it does not. And it never, even at the time, what's the difference between dragging an upright vacuum from room to room and plugging in one plug versus this piece of pool cleaning apparatus that looks like when someone's vacuuming your pool's got a hose on it. It's big. You have to plug the hose in, then you have to plug in the electrical part too.
Yeah, 30 yards of tube you have to carry.
And everyone who lives in a house that has that has a maid, and the maid just drags the vacuum
Yeah.
cleaner from. She doesn't want to plug the fucking
Huge
thing in.
waste.
But all right, and then theoretically, it all ends up in a hopper in the garage,
Yeah.
and then you have to go out and change that. And
It looks like a tank, a water tank.
takes up space. It's innovation that's never
Seems
utilized. The other thing my house has I forgot about, it has a little dumbwaiter.
Oh,
And this
that's fun.
electric dumbwaiter. It's fun in Laurel and Hardy movies
Yeah.
and stuff. The idea is like you're going to come in and you're going to put the groceries here, and then it's going to meet you up. It doesn't really work that well, and you never use it, and then you have to like open the door. And by the time you get through, you got to put it in, you got to do it, you got to
Carry your
shut the
fucking
door, then you go
groceries.
just walk the fuck
Yeah,
up
just
the
carry.
stairs with the bag.
Can you imagine if you and Ray had access to a house with a
Oh my
dumbwaiter?
God.
All I can tell you is when I got that house, it didn't work. But by the way, the other thing is nothing ever worked.
Sure.
It didn't work. I took the whole goddamn thing apart, fixed the diode, oiled the chain, got it working. A month later, somebody like Olga put a thing of groceries in there, headed up. Some container fell out, got wedged in like the mechanism,
Bye-bye dumbwaiter.
shorted the fucking thing out, and it is no longer operable.
good.
But I tried.
Best laid plans.
Yeah.
The jet is activated when the port is open when
Oh.
it comes to the hamper.
Okay.
Whether manually or by sensor.
Yeah, you can upgrade to a sensor and the port will open on its own.
So as soon as you start throwing
Yeah,
something
it's
its
a
way,
text.
yeah.
And then after you walk away or maximum of 17 seconds, the port will just close automatically.
Fuck, I like
Sweet.
it.
I like it, and I'll tell you why I like it. Whether it's the dumbwaiter, the laundry chute, it's fine, but also laundry doesn't weigh much. You put it in the basket and walk it down to the whatever. But you do not have to live with your stinky socks,
That's nice.
which sits in the same room.
And it's very spoonful of sugar. I mean, this is like, talk about making cleanup fun. Who doesn't want
Yes.
to throw shit at that all day?
No, that was sort of the thought behind the Recyclarolla, which is it could be something to do
Yeah.
versus just
Whee!
letting stuff pile up. Whee!
The horror movie version is the toddler walks by and it senses it. It sucks
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Of course.
Well, if you notice in newer construction, if you go to a home or you go to a hotel or something like that, on the deep end where the drain used to be, there are now two drains next to each other.
Oh.
Probably about 2 feet apart.
I didn't notice.
And in jacuzzis too, because too many people got their ass stuck
Really?
in the drain.
I haven't heard this.
Oh,
Like their trunks get knotted up or
No,
something?
Gina, literally their asshole.
they
Prolapse.
they have. They've had a jacuzzi situation where it literally like pulled the guts out of the person.
All right.
Yeah, and they've had other ones where it's like the
That guy's done belting.
10-year-old kid just got his butt stuck to it, and he's just being pinned to the deep end of a swimming pool.
I didn't realize.
Oh yeah. So now,
Oh my
what
God,
they
did he drown?
yeah. Eventually,
he
yeah.
made it.
I think he's by now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't know if someone was stuck.
No,
I didn't know it was
he's-
stuck and needed to
I
be
gotta
rescued.
check. I'll put a call in during the break. Yeah, he's drowned. I could go. Kids drowned all the time. They did
But
all the
that
time.
way is
It's
insane.
one drain. You sort of have that vacuum. Put your
Right.
hand over. Boom.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Once you get the lock, you get the lock. If you get the butt lock on a drain, it's on the deep end. You can't stand up. You're,
making me
it's
dizzy.
probably not going to work if you're 40, but if you're 9 or 7 or something.
So 2 drains is essentially splitting the suction in half.
Yeah, so it'd be like a Y. So it'd have the same single
Right.
drain that would Y out, and they made some sort of code where it had to be like 2 foot apart or something like that. But you'll see new pools have the double drain, so if you clog one side, it's not going to create the vacuum. Yeah, it was a thing. It's a code now. Must have been, I don't know, Chris. You can, I don't know.
I'm seeing like stores that date back even like 2007. To,
Oy
like
vey.
kids are just getting their intestines just
Oh my
ripped out of
God.
their buttholes.
That is not funny.
Cure for colon cancer.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So now there's 2. But it's also one of these things where when you're building the pool, for the price of $6 worth of PVC pipe, 190 elbow, couple of nipples, 118 inches, a
throw a
T
second one in there.
over there. Well, there's no cement or gunite or anything. It's literally it's 45 minutes with a plumber and another $80 all in with labor to do that.
This is something
Money well
which
spent.
they knew. I mean, they've always known it. Which is another kind of a bizarre kind of human trait.
like old school race car driving. Like, it's very deadly. What are you going to do?
Well, how about you take a little hoop of metal and put it higher than the guy said,
it looks
this is the
weird.
way we do it.
Yeah.
That's the throat protector for catchers.
Yes.
Well, why not just the guys are getting their larynx crushed on the regular? Hey, how about this?
I think Yeager invented that. Steve Yeager. So it's one of these things where we've known it. You know how it works. It's inherently dangerous because there's a thing at the deepest point of the pool that will suck people down to it. And, there are parts of life where people go, we should have giant parachutes on commercial airliners. And it's like, it's not that easy. It's not going to work. What do you mean? How big is that parachute going to be? How are they going to land it?
Blocks out the sun.
It's like there's not enough commercial airline crashes to really warrant like retrofitting, whatever. But the pool... That's something they've known since they were putting pools in the ground.
Oh my God.
And it's the easiest physics in the world. Just literally have two pop up instead of one. Never did it. And jacuzzis too. Same thing.
That makes sense.
I'm going to be looking at a lot of cement ponds before my child gets in it.
Every pool constructed after 2010 shall have at least 2 main drains per pump. So there you go. Again,
Good to know.
Super easy fix. It's 2010. They started building the pools in 1931. You guys had a run. You had an 80-year run of no second drain.
Oh my God,
That's shocking.
It is. And yes, it pins them down there or worse.
As much as I hate that we had this conversation and it's going to give me nightmare fuel, this conversation probably will have saved many lives.
Yes.
Like, I've never heard of this before.
Yes. And the other thing I've learned from women and having kids and pools, most women in Los Angeles much more concerned with the 3-year-olds not drinking tap water versus falling into the pool, or at least an equal amount of concern for each, which is a fascinating glimpse into the psyche of a lady.
And I told you at our local pool in the valley, nobody, if you are a baby, it doesn't matter. There are no flotation devices allowed in the pool. Do you remember why? Because these dumb fucks were putting floaties on their kids and walking away and catching some Z's in the lounge chairs. And then finally the pool is just like, where are these? You know what? No more floaties. Because we can't trust you to not watch your kid if there's floaties on.
Get their assholes sucked out.
Exactly.
All right. Let me tell you about Simply Safe. Does anything matter more than safety? Well, I think we're on that subject, aren't we? Of course not. And there's a lot of security companies out there, but they don't act that way. I trust and recommend Simply Safe. This is a great product, streamlined, peel and stick, no drilling, no pulling wires, no crawling around, no technician / ex-con coming by the house. 24/7 professional monitoring. Simply Safe's agents dispatch police, first responders the moment a threat is dedicated, even if you're not home or can't be reached. Just $1 a day, no long-term contracts, no hidden fees. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/Adam. Go today for free indoor security camera plus 20% off interactive monitoring at simplysafe.com/Adam. All right, take a quick break. We come back, play that Rotten Tomatoes game in a controversial update from the last time we played right after this. Well, just a little update. The audiobook, Everything Reminds Me of Something, shall be coming out tomorrow as you hear this. Dawson has done a masterful job on that book, and it's pretty damn funny, if I do say so myself. It plays kind of like a, 6-hour comedy album. So if you enjoy that, we'll just order it now, and then it'll show up tomorrow, I guess.
I imagine it's instant, right?
Yeah.
I would think
Right?
so.
Well, it drops on Tuesday. Right, but if you order it now, it'll drop the next day. I don't know.
Good call.
Or play it safe and wait.
It'll be
I
like
don't know.
it'll be like when U2 magically showed up on your phone, but people will be happy about this.
Yes, the band.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So
All right.
controversy? Controversy?
Controversy. Oh, yes, controversy.
I don't know.
Well, I was informed the last time we played this was in Springfield, Missouri, and that I eked out a win based on a 5-point deduction for, was it Thelma and Louise?
No, so you got a 5-point deduction for Inglourious Bastards, but the score was just so tight between all of you. If you recall, Adam, you had a score of 31. Brian had a score of 33, and Gina had a score of 38. But the last round, we did Thelma and Louise, and Brian guessed 86%. And when we put up the score on, this was recorded July 15th, the score was 85%. So Brian had 1 point, was 1 point off. But when the show aired on Monday, people checked the score, and the score seemed to have been updated to 86%.
Oh my god.
And so had
Are
we
you
played
kidding?
the game Monday, Brian would
shitting
have
me?
won because he would have had that 5-point deduction.
Fucking 35-year-old movie.
That's crazy.
How
Yeah.
many reviews? Do we know? It doesn't matter, one
I'll
or
have
two.
in a
I mean, it
sec.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, but so the
What the fuck?
review came in July 18th from a guy named James Luxford. He wrote, Thelma and Louise still has a lot to say that is relevant today.
Oh my
A
god.
thrilling story of friendship, feminism, and one of the most memorable ending scenes you'll see in the movie.
Wow, that's hilarious.
I'm claiming that.
Asterisk.
So there it is.
Yeah,
Wow.
there's 76 reviews of this movie.
That's fucking brutal.
Wow. And there were 75 when we played the game.
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
fucking
Well,
gross.
let's see.
That would have given me a 5-point deduction.
Well, then you
actually,
can-
a 6-point swing.
You can make it up right
Yeah,
now.
let's
I
see
really
if you got
can't,
what it
no.
takes.
All right, well, this time of year, parents everywhere are taking a well-deserved break by shipping off their children to be someone else's problem for a while. In honor of these heroes, we bring you movies either about or featuring sleepaway summer camps.
Nice.
Yes. Well, we gotta have sleepaway camp. Come on.
After a few failed attempts to murder their newborn brother, 2 siblings are sent to summer camp against their will. This son and daughter duo have a hard time fitting in and eventually find it much easier just to burn the camp to the ground.
Okay.
Yep, you know.
Starring Christopher Lloyd, Angelica Houston, Raul Julia, and Christina Ricci
yep.
from 1993, Adam's Family Values.
Something tells me this isn't going to be lousy with certified freshness. This game.
These
This is the
shows.
sequel.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's funny. I don't know. Adam's Family, the TV show, the Munsters. These shows ran 2 seasons, 3 seasons.
Like Star Trek.
It wasn't fucking MASH
Yeah.
or All in the Family or anything. And they were arguably demonstrably bad. And somehow there's some room in our psyche and our society where like, oh yeah, like kind of
That.
an oh yeah, but it's a weird thing. It's like, and it's also wiring. Like who has it? Like we talk about all the times. Like my parents were downtrodden, poor ass, busted ass losers, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna fucking work. Now most of society goes, his dad was a busted ass loser, and his mom drank, so of course he drinks, and of course he's on the sofa. And I'm like, why is that? That's the math.
Yeah.
You got a front row seat to lethargy, and now
you
you're
must
not.
imitate.
You
now
chose it.
you must imitate.
Right.
And I feel the same way about Land of the Lost, the movie, or Adam's Family, or all the Munsters.
Yeah.
It's like saying, my mom had a Nash Metro for about a year. Do you guys know what a
fuck is
Nash Metro is?
That could literally be anything.
I know a Geo Metro, but
Yeah.
that's as close as I can get to you.
I'm pretty sure this is a Nash Metro. We call it the Weenie Top car when I was 6 or 7. And you guys will recognize the Nash Metro.
Okay.
It's a funky little 50s, 60s piece of like or it could be a Nash Rambler. Maybe it's a Nash Rambler. Piece of Americana. You'll go, oh, that car.
that does look like a
Rambler
hot
does
dog.
sound.
It's weird. There were look, there were little chunks of shit, right?
They
Okay,
look like cartoon cars.
but they didn't work.
Very
And they were
so framed
slow as
Roger
fuck.
Rabbit.
Someone in Greece would pull for the prom. In this.
She had a VW Squareback. Was bad VW station wagon.
Yeah.
Smelled like gasoline inside because the engine was inside the trunk. She had a Dodge Dart from the 60s. She had many, as we discussed, like many piles of shit that you could buy for
Off-brand.
$400
Yeah.
during the day. Okay. I grew up around that. Now, Gina asked me, how many Dodge Darts do I own? Or how many Nash Metros do I own? Or how many VW Squarebacks do I own?
How many
Fucking
Dodge-
zero! Because they're a piece of shit. They're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So, but half of our society goes, oh, I remember.
How kitschy.
Oh, back in the day, we had it was a piece of shit. When my mom owned it in 1972, it was a piece of shit. It's a piece of shit now. It was a piece of shit when it came off the assembly line. And I feel the same way about the Addams Family and the Munsters and Land of Lost.
Yeah.
These were pieces of shit back then.
Yeah.
I know they're pieces of shit you remember. I remember the Hungry Man Salisbury steak. I'm going to Morton's.
Yeah.
What is this thing? It's a multi-cajillion dollar a year business selling people shit that they remember that sucked when they were 9. But what is it?
Yeah, that was my question about all these shows. I always ask you guys, was this good? Like actually good?
No.
It had the laugh track, didn't it?
Yes,
course,
the
yeah.
original Addams Family was 2 seasons. I mean, it's from 1968 to 1970 or 57. Like, why? It's 2 seasons. Who cares?
I don't know. How did they do Thing back then without CGI?
He was just a super tall guy, spoke real slow. Thing.
hand.
No, that's
Thing.
Lurch.
Yeah. Low. I can't remember. Did it
fucking
come out of a
string?
box?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
It had a hand in a box. It didn't
It was
run
in a
around.
box.
It
Okay.
stayed in a box.
Oh, that's my question. Okay.
It was here's how they did everything. They took a round table, like a cocktail type table. They cut a hole in it. Then they put a huge long tablecloth around it. Then they take a wooden box with a hole in the bottom of it. And then they put somebody underneath that thing with a glove. And most that were for many movies and many things, just like hand coming. Oh, it's coming from the table. Yeah, what's the tablecloth hitting the ground for? Sid Croft from Sid and Marty Croft is coming on this show.
What?
Nice.
I'm sorry. Should we leave you two alone? Will this be a one-on-one? I don't trust you to be that close to him by yourself.
He wrote, Chris reached out to Chris, said, I know Adam thinks my work is a pile of shit.
What?
And that I poison the mind of America.
Yep.
I'd like to come on and talk about it.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
And he loves Adam, by the way. He's a big fan of Adam.
Are you
the sad part.
okay? But here's the thing: you and I have like a very similar. Like, we don't want to be uncomfortable. We don't want comfort. Like, are you kind of nervous? It's uncomfortable. He knows you hate him.
I'll probably enjoy speaking to Fitzdog in the second hour more. I do think I think something will come of it.
An understanding.
I think there'll be some growth. And I can never, if a guy like that, he was 90 years old, and you can argue about the product all you want, but you can't argue about the success. The
Sure.
success is ubiquitous. I mean, those guys, Sid and Marty Krofft did 11 shows that were part of everyone's childhood.
and pudding.
Everyone knows the theme songs and stuff. So you can't argue with that. You can argue with the product. But
Mr. Brightside.
But anyone who goes, I've heard what you had to say, I want to come in and talk about it. I'm like, you can
Stand up,
never
dude.
step back from that
Yeah.
challenge. That makes you a coward.
Yeah.
You can't,
You're right.
It's out there. He reached out.
I can't
You
wait.
cannot back away from that.
No, this is going to be appointmentless.
If it is one-on-one, I'm showing up.
sit on the floor.
I mean, looking through the window.
All right. So
Adam's Family Values.
First movie.
can't be good, but like a good cast.
I think the first one was kind of well received. It was like a family film.
Yeah,
so-
they're
Yeah.
all for kids essentially. I'm locked in.
Okay. Oh God, sometimes the critics like camp too.
Camp and camp.
All right. I go barely fresh at 61.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think this is good, but I don't think it's terrible. I said 54.
I'm speechless. I said 36.
Adam's Family Values is certified
No way.
fresh.
Shut the fuck up.
76%.
Wow. Oh, and the people have it at 63. This is a kind of a nostalgic
Yeah.
camp that I
For
think
old
they
critics.
like.
This is insane. A sequel where the kids go to camp is 76.
Yeah.
Well, the summer turns sour when a crazed fitness fanatic turns a fat camp into a living nightmare by
Yes.
subjecting the campers to punishing exercise routines and purging cabins of hidden food stashes. The kids and counselors are left with no choice but to team up and take him down. Starring Ben Stiller, Aaron Schwartz, and Tom McGowan from 1995. Heavyweights.
Anybody see this?
I saw this recently for the first time. It's incredibly stupid, but I will tell you it's beloved by a lot of people. I don't know the critics were kind to it. I just know that a lot of people were telling me you got to see Heavyweights. I'm like, really? This movie's fucking dumb.
The movie that I think was one of the most overrated camp movies was Meatballs
Yeah.
with Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Everyone loved that. That's some like stupid gags where there's like, oh, there's the counselor we hate. So we go into his cabin at night, we pick up his bed, and we move it into all sorts of bizarre places. Like one time it's on top of a bus, the next time it's on a dock by like he wakes up and rolls over into the lake. It's like, don't you think someone would wake up
you get
if
roofied
you
first?
and 4 kids moved the guy's cot
yeah.
he was
Yeah.
sleeping on over rough terrain out to a dock?
This movie has a lot of crossover with Goonies and especially The Sandlot in the sense
Oh.
that you had to see this at the right time,
Right.
like when you were like 12.
But do critics like it because they were former fat kids who were bullied and
it's
whatever?
It's got sweetness to it, and Ben Stiller, Paul Feig's in this. Like it's got.
Oh,
you know,
wow. Well, I don't know what's
Paul
up and
Feig's
down.
in it?
Yeah, he's like an actor.
Oh,
he's one of
okay.
the counselors.
Oh,
I'm almost
okay.
positive.
What
Yeah,
year
you're
was
right.
this?
92.
90s.
Okay.
I have no clue.
The year is 1995.
Who wrote it? Do we know? Was this a Ben Stiller? Did Ben Stiller get
Was Judd
involved with
Apatow
writing
involved in
this? Or
this?
Apatow? Yeah, I think.
Apatow's
that's-
definitely involved. Let me see.
All right.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say either.
Yes, Judd wrote it.
Judd wrote it.
Oh, well, shit.
Oh, boy. I'm sticking with 61. That's all I got.
Oh, it was 60.
I don't want to go too low again. I said 58.
Heavyweights is rotten.
Shit.
29%.
I don't
feel
get
good
this
now.
game.
I actually feel good about that.
Okay.
Because the movie's dumb.
People have it at 77, so
Wow.
this is one of those. They loved it. The folks did, but not the critics.
It's only 7 reviews.
It's weird for a movie
Yeah.
everyone's heard of.
This next movie features a familiar yet disfigured face as he finds himself in a nightmare of his own, as people aren't as afraid of him as they once were. He enlists the help of another supernatural
Oh, yeah.
serial killer.
Now we're talking.
But the two just can't seem to get along and end up turning on each other, resulting in a final battle of the Titans at Camp Crystal Lake.
Oh.
Starring Robert Englund as Freddy and Ken Kurtzinger as Jason from 2003, Freddy vs. Jason.
Okay.
2003.
Was this ironically enjoyed, or was
It's
it
supposed
just
to be.
garbage?
I mean, I would imagine people thought it was like kitschy fun. You know, it's like Godzilla versus King Kong or whatever.
They will go at some point, much like fashion or interior decorating. At a certain point, it gets so bad it gets good again. Like it's like, oh, it's like Fair Foods. It's a deep fried Snickers bar that's rolled in Jimmy's.
I
like,
gotta try
It's
it.
like it gets into a. The critics will get into this. They knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
As long as the critics think they knew what they were doing,
Yeah.
like, oh, they had their tongues firmly planted in their cheeks
you're
when they
right.
did this, then they'll go 77. You know,
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
bump these things, or they did try to make the scary movie. It was a piece of shit, and it's 23.
Disaster.
All right.
So 23 to 77.
This could be a big swing.
Yes.
And did you guys see the trailer for Halloween Ends? Is that what it's called?
The new one?
Yeah.
Think maybe.
With Jamie Lee Curtis now being like, fuck this, I gotta end this. She fights him. That's what the trailer looked like.
All right.
I don't know where to go with this.
I don't know where to go either. And then they may have tried for comedy too.
True.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we locked in?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I'm going low at 27.
Same, 33.
33.
All right.
Freddy versus Jason is rotten at 41.
Okay.
I was considering like a 70-something score.
In this whimsical indie romance, a preteen escapes his Boy Scout camp to run away with the love of his young life.
Oh, no.
All the while, he is being tracked by his fellow scouts,
Fuck this movie.
who are both armed and dangerous with the most eccentric weapons Wes Anderson can think of. Starring Bill Murray, Edward Norton, Francis McDormand, and Bruce Willis from 2012, Moonrise Kingdom.
Never saw it.
Oh, you're going to find it quirky.
Oh, you
And
don't
delightful,
say.
Yeah. Oh, my God. This was like the Wes Anderson going off the edge. Like
Yeah.
he went up his own ass. He went into the pool, sat the filter.
Oh, no.
But kind of a critic's darling.
Oh, I'm sure it's a high Rotten Tomato score.
Oh, man.
I hated it, but the critics fucking can't get enough of this asshole.
This was enough for me. Like I just saw the poster and Wes Anderson, and I was like, all right, I'm out.
We get it.
We get it. I know what. But Brian, you saw it in the theater?
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy, why?
He's well, this is 2013. He hadn't gone, crazy at this point. And Wes Anderson's a notable writer-director.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of have to see
Yeah.
his movies.
All right, so now there's what Brian thought of it versus hipster critics.
It
Yeah.
has to be at least, there's a floor to this movie, Rotten Tomatoes wise.
Because Bill Murray's in it.
Well, it's
And,
Wes Anderson. He's catnip for,
Yeah.
right, but is he
Stylized.
catnip now?
That's a good question. I think French Dispatch wasn't loved. But this is, again, what is it, 2013? You said,
Right.
Something like that?
Yeah. All right.
A decade ago.
2012.
There you
All
go.
right. Is Brian playing rope-a-dope with us, Gina?
No, I think he's being pretty honest about how it sucks and he's pissed that it's a high score. So
Right.
I'm going with that.
But when he's talking about how high the critics are going to go, and then he comes in at 64,
Yeah, he is
and
a
then he
douche
gets
that way.
emphatic and goes,
will
I
do-
hated it. I hated it.
I will
no,
do that
you're right.
occasionally.
You're right.
All right.
I'm up for blood after I got screwed in the last game.
All right. You guys in?
Yeah. He can't lock in.
I don't know.
for that.
79.
Close. 83.
80.
Moonrise Kingdom is certified fresh. 93.
Are you shitting
Fuck.
me? This is no, fuck this. I
Yeah.
wasn't lying to you.
Scratched out 81. Wow.
Our final film.
It better be Troop Beverly Hills.
1 year after their crazy prom night, 5 friends reunite in this sex-crazed sequel to rent a beach house and throw the best summer party Lake Michigan has ever seen. One of them, however, suddenly leaves when he realizes true love is waiting for him where he left it, at band camp.
Oh.
Starring Jason Biggs, Allison Hannigan, Sean William Scott, and Shannon Elizabeth from 2001, American Pie 2.
There are a lot of bad sequels to American Pie.
Yeah, that really branched out.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a tight game. I'm a little behind. Gina Bald.
No.
Feel pretty.
I whiffed it so hard in the first one. I don't
really?
even know. Yeah. I said 36. It was 76.
I think Brian's then
Addams Family.
got a lead here, but it's tightish.
Yeah.
There's
Competitive game.
2 potential outcomes for this. This is a bad movie, so it could be just a bad score. The critics, I have no doubt, missed on the first one, because it's like a raunchy sex comedy. They probably gave it like 50 something, and it was a really popular movie. There's always the makeup factor with the sequel to it. And I was like, oh, we're hip. This is it. But it also could
It's
be
a
bad.
theory. That's a theory.
All right. I got to make up some points.
Hold on.
I got to go bold.
Okay.
Okay.
21.
27.
Oh, shit. We end as we began with me possibly being real off. I listened to this fucking asshole, so I said 68.
Oh, well, look.
That is possible.
You should have gone 48.
Well,
You could have said, well, let's see.
American Pie is rotten.
but hold on.
At
Oh, it popped up.
52.
Uh-oh, that's you made up some points there, Gina.
Yeah.
That actually made it a close game. What did you say, 68?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
People's
that was
score.
that's fresh, Gina. That should have been
I
a
don't
medal.
know.
It's a 2. It's
We nailed the audience score.
Thank
That's
you
right.
very much.
2 of you got scores of 106.
oh.
1 of you got a score of 96.
Oh boy.
No winners in this game.
No.
Well, one winner.
That is correct. No winners in this
Oh, okay.
game.
Yeah.
For the tie, for second place is Adam and Gina at
you.
106. Bald Brian got 96, but he's not a winner.
I'll take it.
Sad.
This is one of those games where, and I don't know if Brian has ever been involved with any of these or anybody in this building, but once in a blue moon, if you're on like a good Pop Warner football team and you guys played a weak Pop Warner football team and you won, but you didn't execute, you had like a lot of bad penalties and
Sloppy
fumbles
game.
and stuff. Coach sometimes after games like, we're doing laps,
right.
and they're like, we won. We won. Like, you guys
You
look like
didn't win.
shit out
Sucked
there.
out there.
So hit the track, Brian. It ain't a victory lap.
That's fair. Yeah, that's
It's fair.
It's fair.
Did you ever experience that in your playing days?
No,
where
but-
you got yelled at after a loss?
No, we weren't good enough. When I was a coach,
Oh, after a win,
I
sorry.
think I told this story. When I was a coach, our head coach got kicked out of a game for yelling at a referee. And according to league rules, he couldn't coach the next game. So I had to be head coach for one game.
Wow.
I know we were playing the best team in the league.
Oh, boy.
Probably Notre Dame, or St. Francis, one of those Valley.
When you were coaching.
Yes, when I was
Yeah.
coaching. I'll just skip to the end. We lost 7-2.
Wow.
I know. We got a safety.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of that school.
And then the coach
Presby.
It was one of those. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
the coach. He was pissed at his team because we were not good. I was
right.
coaching. Yes, they played like shit. Or I like to think that we, played tough.
All right.
7-2.
Fitzdog will be joining us in a moment. First, I'll tell you about Keeps. August is National Hair Loss Awareness Month.
Oh, thank God.
Circle that month, man. And did you know 2 out of 3 guys may experience some form of hair loss by the age of 35? Over 50 million men in the U.S. experience male pattern baldness. Keeps. It's a simple, stress-free way to keep your hair convenient. Virtual doctors, consultations, and medications delivered straight to your door every 3 months in discreet packaging. Low cost, starts at just $10 per month. Treatment plans are typically half the cost of pharmacy prices. Prevention is key. Treatment can take 4 to 6 months to see results, so you need to act fast. So keep the hair you got with Keeps, right, Dawson?
If you're ready to take action and prevent hair loss, go to keeps.com/Adam to receive your first month of treatment for free. That's keeps.com/Adam to get your first month free. keeps.com/Adam.
Greg Fitzsimmons, we know him as Fitzdog, will be joining us right after this.
Adam Carolla's 6th book and audiobook. Everything reminds me of something. Advice, answers, but no apologies.
One last thought. The bidet has been around in some form or another for centuries. But these modern toilet seat adapters were pioneered by the Japanese. It occurs to me that no culture needs it less. The Japanese subsist on a diet of cucumber rolls and can boast a hairless ass. Armenians, that's who need the bidet. They've got a diet rich in baklava and goat and have a shag carpet for an ass. Every Armenian asshole looks like the guy Sacha Baron Cohen wrestled with in the first Borat movie. You know that footage you see of kids opening up fire hydrants in New York during the dog days of summer? That's what your average Armo needs his toilet to be armed with.
Everything reminds me of something. Available now wherever finer books are sold.
Well, Fitzdog's not popped up yet. To be fair to Fitzdog, August told him that we were taping about 6 hours later than we actually were.
Oh.
There's a thing that people have. It's a pattern problem, which is if you do By the way, you have to understand people in patterns, and you have to understand yourself in patterns. You know, like if you go, we tape at noon, Monday through Thursday, and then at 10 a.m. on Friday, that Friday is going to get screwed up a lot if you're dealing with Mike August. Now, if you're dealing with Nick Santora, Kevin Hench, or Jimmy Kimmel, and Gina and Brian, it's not going to happen. Well, scheduling. I'm talking about. But if it's Mike, it's going to happen. Yeah. It's going to happen a lot. Or more than you'd like it. But it's the same with Dr. Drew and the keys in the refrigerator. Or I'll tell you the number one tip I shall tell my children later today. It's like when you're talking to someone and they go, sometimes they'll go like, hey, can you stir the whatever? I'll be home in an hour. Just start doing it. Don't go, yeah, all right. Let me just finish watching SportsCenter. Or can you... Any bring into work or bring with you while you're on the phone. I used to have conversations with Donnie where I wanted him to bring stuff in, and I'd go, no, do it now. Do it while we're on the phone. Go get it and put it in front of your front door. Like, do it while we're talking. And he'd go, like, yeah, I'll do it when I'd go, no. Let me talk you through it. Like, go to the closet, get the carpet cleaner, put it by. Also, if people talk to you that way, realize there's a rich.
Yep.
If people say the phrase like, okay, but 7 means 7.
Yeah.
7 that doesn't mean 7:15. That means if
we
people are talking to you that way, they've had some experience
dealing with you.
I know everyone just thinks you're being an asshole when you talk that way, but it's like, I don't talk that way to everyone. There's 3 people who I talk that way to because...
But Gina, don't forget your news stories.
I won't.
Just do not forget to bring in the news.
I like the tone.
I have traveled the nation with Dr. Drew. I've done 100 million events with Dr. Drew. I have never uttered the phrase, 6 a.m. is 6 a.m. Like, you cannot be late. This is a live hit. Like, I've never in 25 years spoke to Dr. Drew about what time he needed to be in the lobby of the hotel with the car picking us up, at the airport, at the event, at the college, at the news station. It has never crossed my lips. Why? Unnecessary.
He'll be there.
He'll be there. He's established himself. Then there are others who get a constant refrain of what seriously cannot be. No, I have to sing Big Bottoms at 7 straight up, and they're going to start without me. I've got to be at that event. Like,
I got you. Bottom of the hour.
I'm saying if people are speaking to you that way,
there's a reason.
There's a reason. So we'll see what happens with Fitzdog.
This is totally random. Oh, okay. Let me just say this really fast. For the first time, I haven't eaten beef since I was 15 years old, and I took Andy for his birthday to Morton's. I ordered a filet mignon and ate it, and I fucking loved it. I felt like I had the strength of 10 men, and I can't wait to do it again.
Good.
Yeah.
Screw you, cows. Fitzdog, not calling you cow.
Thank you.
Fitzdog is on and up with us. Greg Fitzsimmons has got shows coming up. Jonathan's in Maine is coming up August 11th. Manchester, New Hampshire. Woo, you're getting out there, man. Chunky's Cinema Pub, and then also Lowell, Arkansas.
Ooh.
The Grove, there's a couple of Lowells. Like this is Massachusetts Lowell, where Mike Lynch is from. That's coming up September 16th, 17th. Fitzdog Radio's the podcast. Good to see you, Fitzdog.
Hey, guys. And, it's really exciting to chime in from my office because I get so turned on by you, Adam, and I have no pants on. And let's just see what happens.
Yeah, let's throw caution and possibly semen to the wind.
Yeah, we got Tubin over here.
Tubin over here. What's going on, Fitzdog? What are you working on? I know you're out doing dates. Are you writing? I mean, people don't or may not know. Fitzdog's been on a lot of writers' rooms, lots of sitcoms.
A lot of writers' rooms. I just did Punch Up on a movie, and now I've got a game show that I'm out pitching to the networks. It's based on the Guinness Book of World Records. Did you love the Guinness Book of World Records when you were a kid?
Every kid did.
I remember, my mom would give me $50 to go to the book fair, and the first book was always Guinness Book of World Records.
Wow, $50.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we had the Guinness Book of World Records. So it's like my family didn't spend much money, didn't have much money, didn't do many things. But they did realize that the Guinness Book of World Records was like the best $11 they're ever going to spend because it was 7,000 pages thick.
Yeah,
It was only... It was like my Zenith TV set. It was deeper than it was wide. It was like it's like one of the only books that 13 inches across, 41 deep. The only. Just think, we could probably do that book. The Guinness book was like deeper than it was wide across.
That and the Leonard Maltin movie guide were extremely thick.
And so I could sit there and looking at black and white little postage stamp sized pictures of a crab with an 8-foot arm or something and just bury my face in it.
48-inch fingernails.
Right.
Don't you guys think that you could sort of mark our society by the width to depth ratio of the TV? So my son in his room has like a 65-inch TV that's 1.25 inches deep.
Sure.
Yeah.
Think about the 65 versus 1.25 inches versus the 13, 29 inches deep. Like, just think the ratio. And then the kids that were doing better, they had a 27-inch Zenith was built into the console that was like 20 inches deep or 17 inches deep. Like and as we progress and as your life gets better, Kimmel's got like a 200-inch TV that's 3 inches deep, on his wall.
You got the phone you pull down. It's barely 1/4 of an inch thick.
Screen with a high def projector. Like you can kind of mark it, right?
Yeah, I think it's a lot like the kids. You can tell a kid's how his family's doing with the fish tank. If they've got the built into the wall aquarium that's got the bubbles
Sweet.
and the filter, and it's got different kinds of fish.
Oh yeah.
And then you got a bowl with gravel. And one tetra fish.
It kind of keeps going because there's built into the wall. That family's crushing it. And I would also say used as a division where you kind of can walk around both sides of it.
That's the waiting room.
That's the dining room.
Yeah, the library's over there, the mezzanine's to the left by the elevator. Like you just walk past. Okay, so there's that. Then there is the tank that's just kind of sitting on a piece of furniture, and that's not doing as well. Then there's the fish bowl, but then there's also the dried up aquarium, the saddest tableau ever.
Terrarium.
And it smells.
Yeah, it smells.
It's caked with orange flecks on the glass that you can't get out.
It's got a green tint forever.
Gill.
Yeah, were you guys like mice, hamsters, or rats popular when you were a kid?
It was all hamsters and gerbils.
Hamsters and gerbils.
For sure. And you put them in the little ball they roll around the house.
Yes. Habitrail.
What?
The device was called a Habitrail.
Was it really?
All those clear tubes.
Oh, that's the maze, right?
Yeah. Not, the ball was part of it, or it came with it, but the Habitrail.
Those were fun.
Was a weird. We never got. I got a rat with a cage, but we didn't get the Habitrail. But the Habitrail was like clear PVC pipe with orange elbows, and you'd like snap it together. It's kind of weird. Did you have anything like that, Fitzdog?
No, but I showed up for college freshman year, and my roommate, we called him Mooney, because he used to go outside and howl at the moon when he was on acid. He had a ferret, and the ferret was an alcoholic, it turns out, because we would put out bowls of beer, and he would drink the entire thing. And then he'd walk into walls, and he was an alcoholic.
Was his name Kodo or Podo from Beastmaster? Because those are the two most famous ferrets of all.
My thieves.
They're thieves, right? Yeah.
Wow.
People don't realize how gay Beastmaster was. Like it was gayer than a lot of gay porn. Very gay.
A lot of rough trade outfits.
That was around the time of the second Mad Max, right? The Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Yes.
Yes.
No, when he broke into the castle, the guards weren't, like I said, there's the village people, and everyone had a job, telephone guy and cop. Then one guy's job was just blowjobs. Like, I'm just a gay dude. Like, I'm just gay. Like, I got a leather hat, I got a big mustache, and I got like.
Chief sucks a lot.
They had the Indian chief and the cop and the fireman and the thing, and then one guy was like, I'm gay. And that in the Beastmaster, that's what the guards were. They were just gay.
Right.
Chris will find a picture of those guys. I mean, they're wearing like leather dolphin
S&M,
shorts and
what's
high
his
boots.
backstory? Gay.
Gay. Yeah.
Yeah, the costume designer for the Village People ran dry. The first 4 guys, they got lucky. They got solid Halloween costumes.
They all got to sign one, and they're like, the guy probably paused, like, what would an accountant dress like? Is there an outfit? Well, how about that visor that's tinted green?
Garter belt
it's gonna play. School custodian, is that sexy?
Not really.
For a fetish, maybe.
Oh, fuck it. Let's make him gay. I mean, come on. Someone's going to complain in the audience.
Gay doctor?
Yeah, but that's still just a long lab coat. Let's just make him gay.
Professionally.
Where are those guys, Chris? You're gonna laugh when you see
that guy had some mice. That Village People guy had some mice.
Look at this, dude.
Okay, did I undersell?
You undersold it.
I undersold
because
it.
we didn't talk about the thigh-high spiky dick boots. Whatever
That part is functional.
Okay.
What?
I love this movie.
Okay. Gina, describe what we're seeing as the guards at the castle
from the top
for Beastmaster.
down.
Beastmaster wasn't supposed to be a gay film. It was just supposed to be a movie about good-looking guys. Got a Bengal tiger they spray painted black, and like Poto and Toto, the ferret, and Kodo and Kodo and Poto. Describe the guard.
So let's start from the feet. He's wearing a full. It goes beyond thigh high. It's groin high leather boots.
They're effectively chaps.
Yeah, they're spiky, and they go right to the bottom of his dick tip.
The lead singer from Judas Priest told the guy to reel it in a little bit.
Albert is like,
too gay. Too gay.
He has
a bit much.
A lot of daylight then between the top of the thigh high and then the waist belt with a big leather like cod piece. And then there's nothing.
That's what you want from your tactical defense.
Yeah.
No
organs protected.
Shirtless, greased up.
Oily. And then the hands, he's wearing these like fingerless leather spiky gloves.
That's actually pretty sweet.
And then a gimp mask.
Yeah. I mean, look, how much gayer? Does it get gay? Is it possible?
The needle has pinged.
Yes. We've hit the rev limiter on gay.
Wow. In front of a dungeon.
That's it. Okay. There's got to be some. There's got to be a story for Beastmaster. Yes.
I mean, look at the tan on the guy. That's what's weird is you picture him as more of a basement dweller.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's got a nice sheen to him.
Yeah.
He's got a nice tan.
So there's got to be some story because at some point you have the costumer put something together and the director or the writer of the studio's got to vet it.
Yeah.
And
what didn't make the cut?
They got to look at this guy and go like,
what kind of movie do you think we're making?
well, you know what? If this guy just put a corn cob up his ass, it wouldn't be gayer than this. It would be equally gay.
As Patton Oswalt said, this is gayer than 8 dudes blowing 9 dudes.
That's right. So somebody had to go, oh no, this is good. Like nobody went, well, let's put him in a vest or see if we can get like something up top.
Yeah.
Something sleeveless. How about, no, we're going full codpiece.
What about some chainmail? I mean, he is supposed to
Oiled
protect
up
the place.
codpiece.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what we're going. I'd say look up the costumer, but definitely claimed by AIDS.
Oh my God.
There's no way that person's alive. It's impossible. Something. There's some gay theme. There's some story. The director. There's some Beastmaster. Something.
Look at IMDb trivia.
Yes.
I think the tan might be from a float. That guy spent some time on a float.
If you
At the gay parade.
if you described If you were like a 19-year-old male and you described the story of Beastmaster as a dream you had, the therapist by law would be obligated to tell you were gay.
Yeah. You have to report that.
You'd have to. According to the bylaws of this nation, he could be disbarred or disbanded or debunked
Defrocked.
or
Not doing his job.
So what? All right, sorry. Guinness Book of World Records. Where the hell were we?
The game.
So we're going to do a game show about it. And, we'll see. I like game shows. I always have. I used to host a game show on MTV called Idiot Savants many years ago. And it was me and a giant brain. And we would ask people, we would get people. And of course, you could never have the title Idiot Savants anymore because it basically refers to people, no offense, Adam, that have Asperger's.
Oh, yeah.
Some type of spectrum-y
Everyone's on the
situation.
spectrum of everything now, so I don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did that. And of course, I was a struggling comedian for many years. I did okay with women, but not great. I wasn't funny enough to really turn it into getting laid. And then all of a sudden I meet my wife and I fall in love with her the second I meet her. And I already I told her best friend I was going to marry her the night I met her. And of course, a week later, I get a job hosting a game show on MTV. And they're like flying me down to Panama Beach to do spring break live shows on the beach. Women are throwing themselves at me. I'm doing college tours. Women are and I didn't act on it. Wow. And it was a mistake.
I agree. I had the same thing. I was on MTV. I had a show that would be up in every strip club, every bar. I'd walk into a bar in New York City. It'll, be 11 o'clock at night, 11:30, and that my show they would put MTV on the bar. It was a de facto. To just turn the sound down, just put on MTV. You could watch Billy Idol videos or whatever. It was so easy. MTV. I mean, Carson Daly. What he turned that job into from a poon standpoint.
Yeah.
I mean, unchartable.
Sure.
Like it can't be measured. Yes, that's what MTV used to be.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore used to have, he had a Winnebago that he'd pull up outside the green room and young women would line up to first blow his door guy to let them into the van for the pleasure of blowing Pauly next.
Wow.
Forever.
I feel like if that Winnebago was a rental, my family would be the next group to get it. And I'd be like, it smells like the wheeze in here. Hey, bro. What is going on with Beastmaster? We have any updates? Gay updates? Something. Who wrote that? Claimed by AIDS. Who directed it? Something.
Don Coscarelli, Paul Pepperman.
Aha. Killed in a quarrel with his boyfriend.
It was not only those guards who had the totally gay outfits. I mean, everybody.
Everyone was gay.
Everybody was pretty much in a bikini.
Breaking news. I just clicked on Don Coscarelli's name for Wikipedia, and I went right to personal to see what it says. He is the writer-director of Beastmaster. Coscarelli frequently collaborates with his wife, costume designer Shelley Kay.
Aha!
Oh.
So, are we talking old school fruit fly? Because I could come up with that outfit back in my day.
Yeah, you kind of wonder. Maybe they never had any kids.
Confirmed something.
Something.
Oh, well, they do have a vegan chef daughter. I don't know if that gets more confusing.
Could be adapted.
I think she's going to die falling down a set of stairs.
This is weird.
So Fitzdog, Guinness book. Sorry.
So that's it. I'm out. So the guy that created that show with me, Mike Dugan, he and I are out pitching it starting next week. And hopefully it gets picked up. I like game shows, like sitcoms. I mean, they're so lame. I don't want to be on a sitcom. I want to do a funny game show, like just something that's weird and interesting and makes people tune in.
the thing about game shows now is you can get Joel McHale or Jamie Foxx or some cool names to host. Everyone wants to host game shows. And look, before the incident, you had Alec Baldwin doing Match Game.
Right.
And you go, fucking Alec Baldwin. I mean, think of like who Alec Baldwin is, and then picture him hosting a game, And by the way, it's like literally like where your agent would go, you don't listen to me, you end up hosting a game show instead of doing real work, substantial work. But the answer to most Hollywood people, as much as they fucking rail about, the man and money and they can't be bought, they just throw money at him. And it's also it's gang taping. That's the thing. They would do 4 match games in a day. And so now it comes into this thing, which is like, you drive into Manhattan once a week, you do 1 day's work, you get $1 million, it's $250 a show or whatever that number is, and all of a sudden the person shifts a little from artist to accountant because you start going. But then you do this thing where you go, they do a thing as an artist, you have to go, that'll give me more time for my poetry.
Sure.
That's right.
It's after some kind of rationalization. Now I can.
Everybody thinks
now
they're Steve Martin.
I can volunteer at the junior college because now that's never going to happen.
I'm a playwright. I'm an art collector.
But so now you can get these. How do you get Jamie fucking Foxx to host a whatever?
Like a Spotify.
You tell me
show.
do 4 shows in a day.
Yeah.
You bang it out. There's a template to it. Light lifting for the host, you just get up there, hit your mark, hit the prompter, You get 4 in a day, you get paid, you go home. That's how you get the big names.
Yeah, when we were shooting the first season of Idiot Savants, we were shooting by really shitty neighborhood by Penn Station, and my dressing room had no heat, and we were shooting 4 episodes a day. Plus, I was writing on the show, so it was a lot of work. And after halfway through shooting 4 episodes a day, 5 days a week, I came down with pneumonia. And so they sent me to MTV has these special doctors where if you're in production, they hit you with 3 syringes, some B12 and some steroids. And then I was back in my apartment and a PA shows up at my door, knocks on the door. And I was like, oh, that's sweet. They're probably bringing over some soup or something. And she just walks in and goes, how are you feeling? And I was like, I'm sick as shit. And she's like, okay. And I realized they were checking on me. They thought I was snowballing them. Wow. And so I came back. I missed 4 days and I came back, and on my first day back, they're like, how you feeling? I'm like, I'm all right. They're like, good, because now we got to shoot 5 a day. We're starting in 10 minutes. Let's go.
What years did that, or what year did you start that?
Show.
It was 97.
Huh?
And that full head of hair, Fitzsimmons, Fitzdog?
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Lustrous.
Well, here's the thing. I had the hair, got the wife, hair fell out, mission accomplished.
Right.
Didn't need it anymore.
It served its purpose.
It's like a booster rocket. It's like once you get through the atmosphere, the booster rocket falls off into the ocean.
Sea, yeah.
You don't need it.
No, it's true. And I was thinking about it the other day because anyone who's lived with a woman has experienced walked into the bathroom and the hot curling iron remained plugged in and hot. I guess they have a little light on them now, but not enough for a lot of ladies. Then the countless hours of the blowing of the hair, so a couple thoughts. We're constantly talking about, the power grid and not using your appliances during peak hours and stuff like that. Women use a shitload more of power over the course of their lifetime, just as it pertains to their fucking hair, between the rollers and the hot roller and the hair dryers are a big draw. There's certain things in life like heating coils.
If you use a hairdryer with certain products, you'll blow a fuse for sure.
Yes, it's a big draw. Many women use it on a daily basis or almost daily, 3 times, 5 times a week or whatever. Fitzdog and Brian, fucking what
Super
resources are you using?
Nothing. Just buzz it. Buzz it today.
That's right.
And so little water. I waste so little water washing my hair.
Yes, right. Yes.
Brian, do you use shampoo on the top of your head, or how do you clean the top of your head?
Brian. How dare you? Go to your fucking game show. No, man. I do a face wash that just goes all the way up because it's my face. Because I do an SPF every day.
You got it.
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Speaking of water, I'm just getting a news alert right now. This is not funny. Las Vegas declares emergency with less than 50 days of clean water supply left.
Right.
So be real careful out there, everybody, in the next 2 months.
Yeah, well, let me say this to the politicians, because we have the same thing in California. It's like, we got wildfires, and we got drought, and, we don't have water, and then we got the forest is burning. And then the politicians are like, see, I told you, climate change. I told you it's fucking our shit up. It's like, okay, let's just agree on that. What the fuck are you doing about it? Like, the thing is like, hey, don't blame me.
Yeah.
Blame your SUV.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, there's two things. New Orleans is below sea level, and we had a big storm, and the Army Corps of Engineers hadn't updated the seawalls and whatever, but when they're engineered and they're built and they're updated and they're sort of worthy of a, hurricane, then it will remain dry, or it won't. It's up to the politicians to get those seawalls up there. Like, okay, we're in a drought, we're in a desert, climate change is bad. Where's our desalination plant that gets all the water from the ocean? And then we have that. It's like,
do it.
Okay, I'm with you. We're heating up. There's climate change. The forests are on fire. Vegas out of water. Well, what's the plan? Now we have to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, Vegas has air conditioning, so they can live there.
Right.
There's technology shall remedy a lot of problems.
And I just heard on the news today that, St. Louis is a deluge of flooding right now. People are dying, cars being swept away, houses being swept away in St. Louis. And they asked the guy, and I thought you'd respect this, because they go, well, is there anything that can be done about this? And the guy goes, yeah, bigger pipes.
Yeah, you can plan for it. Things can work. I mean, if you just sort of get it from, macro to micro, you can go, well, there's a huge rainstorm. All right. We live in a place with no roof. All right. Well, then you're going to get wet. Or we live in a place with a flat roof that has not properly sealed. All right. Well, then you're going to get drips. Or we live in a place with a pitch roof with a state-of-the-art metal roof that's good for 100 years. Okay, well, then you get no water.
Right.
It's the same fucking event. One is, what did you do about it? And the other is,
Yeah. I'm sorry, we got Tony Dowd again.
Oh, no.
Update.
what a roller coaster.
Leave it to Beaver.
It says
He's Wally.
Yeah, he was dead, and then he wasn't, and then unfortunately he was again. Clarification: Las Vegas, New Mexico declares emergency. Did we know there was Las Vegas, New Mexico?
No, you can't do that.
Happening on the phone right now.
Dr.
But
Drew.
Las Vegas is also flooded right now.
Oh, I'm sure they're fucked.
Can we? All right. Well, this will bring me to my game show, Fitzdog.
Yeah.
And I think, look, obviously, you'll have to go in and pitch it without me, because you're still in the good graces of the folks in Hollywood that are hearing these pitches. They don't really know what you really think. So you can get those meetings. My problem is I say,
come on here. There's a lot of stink on me, Adam.
Okay, you're right. You're right. Well, we can hose you down before you go into Apple or Netflix. But here's my game show. I would watch the shit out of this. We just had Kato Kalin in here doing his hockey fight.
Yeah, Ice Wars.
League. Ice Wars. Funny, cool, interesting. All right. It comes up all the time. There's a Vegas, New Mexico, and a Las Vegas, Nevada. Dr. Drew and I almost got into a fist fight on an airplane once because we were talking about Rochester, Minnesota, and he was talking about Rochester, New York, and I was like, he had Minnesota in his head, I had New York in my head, and I was like, what do you mean it's closer to L.A. than blah, blah, blah? I'm like, Rochester, you idiot. We just kept round back because there's two of them or more, and there's
Springfield in every state.
Yeah, There's a
Portland,
Maine.
Yeah.
Okay,
Portland, Oregon.
Look, it's inherently confusing. Somebody needs to own, and the other one needs to fucking change their name. Mm-hmm. And we need the two toughest dudes from that area. I got to see your birth certificate. You need to be born in Rochester,
Yep,
Minnesota,
in the city limits.
and then let's get in the cage.
I like that.
Let's see who keeps the name. Now, to up the ante, the other name that you switch to is going to have to be like Taintville or Schittsburg or something. You got to have an insulting name.
the winner gets to pick.
The winner gets to pick the shit name that the other, and then once a year we can go back and fight it out again and see if we can get your name back. It's train, man.
Interesting.
Start training.
I
I like that.
So let's claim. We call it claim the name.
Ooh.
They come in there. We do it with the dress. Maybe the New York guy's wearing a wife beater.
Okay.
And maybe the Minnesota guy's wearing mucklucks. Or something into the ring. You know what I mean?
Right.
With some of the food maybe that you're known for. I'm just spitballing
Do
here.
we go international? Because there is a Paris, Texas.
Yes. And then obviously there's gambling. You think, do you think the Texas-born fighter would probably beat the Parisian?
Yeah.
But you don't know.
Right.
No, it could be
Andre the Giant was from
Asian guy,
France.
huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. One of the greatest MMA fighters of all time is from France. What's his name? And then I live in Venice. We go against. Actually on my weather app on my phone, I punched in Venice, and I was walking around one day with an umbrella, and my friend's like, "What the fuck are you doing with an umbrella?" I go, "It's supposed to rain later." He's like, "What are you, some kind of an asshole? It's July in California. It never." I realized I had Venice, Italy on my weather app.
All right, hold tight. Let me hit a spot, and we'll roll in. Cyril Gain, is he the Frenchman who Fitzdog is the heavyweight? There's a few of them. I think. Isn't Spider? Is Spider? Oh
Anderson
God,
Silva?
The black guy?
Anderson Silva. Is
Anderson Silva now.
We'll figure it out. First, let me tell you about K12.com. Want more control over your child's education? Check out today's sponsor, K12.com. Tuition-free online school that fits your life. Personalize your child's education. Let them know their way and let them learn their way at their pace using tech for their generation. Learning is flexible, interactive, and fun. K12.com/podcast. You can explore curriculum and see success stories from some of the 2 million plus families that are using K12. Classes are taught by passionate, state-certified teachers, and your child can develop social skills with field trips, clubs, and activities. K12 has helped families take control of their child's education for 20 years plus, and you can too. Take charge today at K12.com/podcast. And yeah, when the next pandemic hits and they close the school, you'll be way ahead of the game. All right, we'll take a quick break. Come back with news and Fitzdog right after this.
Well, you know how I hate the phrase breaking their silence, but finally we got a real one. Will Smith breaking his silence.
This counts.
Yeah, talking about slapping Chris Rock at the Oscars after staying mum on the topic for a while now. He uploaded this very emotional video to YouTube to discuss what he did, to apologize to Rock. Smith says he has reached out to Chris to apologize. He wants to talk whenever Chris is willing. The slap earned, as you know, Smith a 10-year ban from attending the Oscars.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which might be as long as he needs to repair his image because people are a little sketched out. The video is long. It's like 6 minutes. He apologizes to Chris's family, mostly his mom, and also to Tony Rock, who I guess he's friends with. But let's just get to who's the real victim here. Here's a clip of Will talking about the effect this has had on him.
I am deeply remorseful, and I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself.
Put it on pause.
Right? I'm human.
This is well thought out. This is scripted. This is framed. Why the white light over the
Why the
head?
white light behind his head? He's trying to be a saint.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. He's saintly.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I agree too. When it was paused, I couldn't tell if he was dyed his hair or he's wearing something. And yes, he's wearing a white hat and he's standing in front of
A globe.
sitting in front of an
18
orb
inches.
that's
Yeah.
behind him, and it's giving him a weird extra helmet glow.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Be remorseful without being ashamed of myself.
You can be ashamed.
I'm human. And I made a mistake.
Hold on a second.
And
Is the Francis Ngannou? Sorry, look for the MMA fighter. All right, here's the point.
George St. Pierre. He's
George
French
St. Pierre.
Canadian.
All right, here's the whole point. First off, I'm human. Let's remove that from the equation. We're all humans.
That and I can't turn back time.
Tex Watson was a human.
Yeah, true.
You know,
We're all starting at a baseline.
Hitler, human.
Sure.
Like everyone who committed an atrocity or killed another human being.
All of the human species.
The guy who threw a large sack of gold medal flour into my patent fan when I was in high school, which was on high at time, and threw it in my room, creating a dust cloud of flour. That person was a human.
Right.
We're all humans.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I don't like apologies that let people off where you're letting
you're gonna
yourself
hate the
off
rest
the
of this.
hook
No.
from Jump Street, right? Like I'm a human. And also, don't you guys find it, whether it's Will or any politician or anyone, isn't it like so fucked out? Like I'm a human. I'm only human. Humans make mistakes. Like yes,
Now you're teaching us. You're lecturing
That's
us.
what we do. But
Yeah.
this is specific. You hit somebody,
Yeah.
and
You're
now we want to
absolving
hear about
yourself.
that. We don't need the part. Also, by implication, when they do that thing where they go, "We're all humans." This could have been any of Oh,
But
now
it
we're
wasn't.
in.
Yeah.
Now we're
You've
in.
been drawn into your
Right.
Okay, so every stepdad that fucks his 8-year-old daughter's a human, and we're all humans.
Who among us?
Who among us? Okay, that's nice. Well, I'll just jump in the same hamper as you. All right, that's awesome.
And remember, he said, maybe back it up a little. Let's focus on what he said about being ashamed.
He doesn't want it.
He doesn't. Go ahead.
Doesn't want to be ashamed.
Yeah. Go ahead.
And I'm trying to be remorseful without being ashamed of myself.
Be ashamed.
Go ahead.
I'm human.
Uh-huh.
And I made a mistake, and I'm trying not to think of myself as a piece of shit.
What? I don't get why. Just go.
Wow.
You fucked up. You miscalculated, or you got caught up in the moment. You did wrong, and then you don't have to. And then there's this. Here's the other problem too. You ever have like a person where it's like they're delivering the bad news, but they take it harder than you,
Yeah,
and then they go
sure.
like, "Look, Gina, I got to break up with you because your pussy stinks. I'm so sorry.
Oh no! Don't cry. I mean, I feel really sad.
It's so vile.
Come here. Come
It's
here.
so vile.
You need a
It's I'm
hug.
too close to your pussy now.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
I love your souffles. It's just I
Thank
can't
you.
get by that. I'm such a bad person.
There.
Who would break up with someone just because I had a hygiene issue, even if it was horrible?
easily fixable.
Oh,
You had a super correctable hygiene problem, and I feel I'm just such a mess. And my mom had a sticky pussy,
you
and I
poor
guess I think
dear.
of her. And, all right,
God.
let's not make it about me.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. He's
By the way, that
already
was
made it about him.
misinformation.
He made it about himself
yeah.
already.
Yeah,
right?
and more so, part of what he said was, and this is a new phrase for me because we're always introducing these therapy terms in the lexicon. Disappointing people is my central trauma. Whatever that means. A therapist told him that he's one of those people that disappointing people is his central trauma. And so now he's been working on that. I hate it when I let people down. So it hurts. It hurts me psychologically. So, like you said, making it about you. Psychologically and emotionally to know I didn't live up to people's image and impression of me.
Can I say this? Can we, or maybe let's see if we can agree on this concept. First off, Jada,
Pinkett Smith.
they need to be removed from each other.
Yeah, it
'Cause
seems like it.
They're like Courtney Love and Kurt Cobain. Like, hey, you want to slam some drugs? Yeah. Want to wait till noon? No.
No.
Let's do it
That's how
now.
I like the way you think.
You need a fucking person that goes, hey, man, you got a problem. Like, no, we're not. We're going to take a hike.
Speaking
You know
of
what I
not
mean?
spending a lot of time on your hair. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jada.
That's right.
And that's the funny thing too is now it's come out. The story's kind of over, so who cares? But all these like hair, beautician hairstylists are coming out going, she has traction alopecia, which is not the same as regular
Oh, there's
alopecia.
different
Traction
kinds?
alopecia means you've put in so many you've messed with your hair so much and you've pulled it tight with wigs and with glue, their hair just gets damaged and falls out.
I
It's
got
not
that with my
disease.
pubes.
Right.
So
yeah,
fucking Merkin all through the 90s.
when we saw that Instagram
I know I
video,
bleached my asshole so many times that I literally don't think I can grow hair back there anymore.
Yeah.
God, that's so sad. When we saw
I
that
know.
Instagram video of her being like, "Don't you think we need counseling?" and Will Smith is like, "I think you need to stop recording me without my permission." He looked like an abuse victim.
What I'm saying is she's there and he's movable.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you need somebody, if you're, I'm not as movable. I'm set in my ways. You'd have a hard time.
Isn't that code for racist?
Yes.
Yeah.
You could give me my girlfriend, my daughter, my whomever could give me all the wooden bead bracelets in the world. I would never wear one. I would just go, I'm not wearing this. And then they go, but I made it for you. And
You
I
made
go,
it camp.
sweet. It'll hang out in my drawer with all the other beautiful things you made me. But a lot of guys, the number one answer for guys wearing those round wooden bead bracelets is my daughter
gave it to
me.
gave it to me.
Yeah.
All right, let's just give you a traffic cone, tell you to wear it on your head. Would you do it? But all right, I'm not malleable.
That being said, Brian, when she starts making friendship bracelets, I want to see them on
I know.
you.
That's next soon.
He is malleable
Yeah.
and she's
Yeah.
nuts, and he needs to be with some chick. He needs a Canadian. He's a
Do
chick.
tell.
That's
I'm
just some
listening.
fucking
Yeah.
chick that's like, we're going fucking playing ultimate frisbee today.
Going
All right,
fishing.
booked us a whatever. Yeah, we're going out.
Yeah.
It's snowing. We're going to Mountain High. We're gonna fucking make a They're locked up and talking too much. And then there's this thing where everyone is over-diagnosing themselves. So they go, my truth and my feeling is my healing, part of my healing. Like, you never stop talking about your healing and your truth and your psyche and then how damaged you are. And then at a certain point, like, too much therapy, too many self-help books, at a certain fucking point, you need to just put some fucking earbuds in, crank up the Aerosmith, and go for a fucking hike.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to go do shit.
Agreed.
Or you sit home and eat yourselves. And if you want to know why the people that work all day are the sanest, it's because they're just busy. They're just like on their feet. They're occupied. They're doing whatever. They're making their appointed rounds. Like, they don't get into their
They're out of
own
their
truth.
heads.
And
Yeah.
we're starting to sort of drown in our own head.
Yeah.
And I think he's that way.
Yeah.
I
So
think you've really self-actualized in your journey there, Adam.
Wow. Thank you, Gregory.
Yeah. And I think it's and I think the key is that you've allowed yourself to live more in the moment and to let go.
Yeah.
To let go of a lot of the codependence.
yeah,
So congratulations.
that's right.
If he reads Michelle Obama's next book, that'll be it for Will Smith.
Yeah.
She's just talking about being and becoming and the light,
light.
and everyone's got a light in them, and
Yeah.
you have to expose the light to others. This is an insane time we're living in.
We got to keep them apart, like the Keymaster and the Gatekeeper in Ghostbusters. Michelle Obama
Right.
and Will Smith, because that's the end.
Yeah.
He needs, I'm trying to think, who do we need to hook him up with?
Oh,
Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
famous African American actress Charlize Theron.
Oh,
true.
you're right. She's
She's cool.
no, but she's said, now on the plus, she's adopted black kids. On the minus, she's one of those fuckhead blowhard celebrities who goes, there are places in America I wouldn't bring my kids. Name the cities, bitch.
Oh.
Name the cities where your
Okay.
black kids are in trouble versus black on black
You're-
crime.
you're gonna have a hard
well,
time.
being killed by black people, yes, that would be statistically true, blowhard.
You're going to have a hard time finding a celebrity that's an actress or someone of that nature. I'm going to go with Britney Griner. When she gets back,
I don't know if she's interested, but I hear you.
She might have to rehab her image.
I say Gal Gadot. You like a feisty Israeli.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd
she'd
be a
straighten
good-
his shit right
Yeah.
out. She'd take him like to the range and they'd shoot
That's right.
pistols and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
he needs to take one of those mini cruises where they show a classic movie and just go around the harbor. He needs to get out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fitzdog, who should we pair him up with?
I like Madonna. I see what she's done with a lot of men. Dennis Rodman,
Sure.
he went through a profound change while dating Madonna.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah, she'll knock the sanity right into a guy.
Yep.
I
Yep.
agree.
Well, let's talk about another beloved to many guy that's speaking out, Jon Stewart. He is still very much, he has not forgotten this cause of these military burn pits and this bill to get these veterans, help and health care after dealing with this. He blew up after Republicans blocked the bill to provide health care for veterans exposed to these pits. Stewart's really outspoken. He's an advocate for military vets. We've been talking about this for a while. Here's a clip of him from a press conference where he specifically calls out Senator Pat Toomey after a vet interjects with his thoughts. So he's up there, with the microphones, and then you'll hear this guy off mic, and the camera widen up, and it's a guy in a wheelchair with a sign who's very upset, and Jon will sort of take it from there.
They're tortoises. They live forever, and they never lose their jobs, and they never lose their benefits, and they never lose all those things. Well, they're not on Senate time. They're on human time, cancer time. Don't you have families?
We might have a time code issue, but the guy on the side, you can turn it down. The guy says, we need things so we don't commit suicide and we don't whatever. And Jon Stewart basically says, because Toomey is a fucking coward. He's a fucking coward.
Why would anyone be against this?
This is totally off the top of my head. We generally find that these are, what did they sneak in that we don't like? But I don't know.
Because it's just like helping veterans because these burn pits, they would dig. You got to really think about logistics of going to war. It's all, we think of it as all like airplanes and cannons and stuff like that. But you have to build cities in the middle of the desert with no infrastructure. And think how much waste you're creating, just by taking thousands of men and putting them in the middle of a place. So there's no, the modern cities have, plumbing and sewage and rendering, plants that clean the sewage and all that. They got nothing. So they just dig huge pits, put Jet A fuel in there and just burn everything. Yep. And then the guys... obviously the burn pits aren't far enough away from where the people are living, and the wind changes, and now they're sucking up all that stuff, and now they're getting all kinds of horrible diseases from that.
And who could be against Jon Stewart? I mean, he's saying, these are veterans. So who's the asshole villain that's saying no?
I don't know. I don't know. But there's usually something, but I don't know. Chris can look. After we get to the bottom of the Beastmaster thing.
That's what's important right now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Sesame Place, shall we?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Rosita or something.
Rosita. They are, in fact, being hit with a big old class action suit to the tune of $25 million, claiming that the park and its employees have insulted and damaged Black patrons, especially the young ones. The lawsuit lists a man named Quentin Burns. He's one of them. He and his family visited Sesame Place on June 18th. Burns says he purchased tickets to the park to do the meet and greets with the characters. However, according to the docs, Burns says he and his kids attended the meet and greet with costume performers Elmo, Ernie, Telly Monster, and Abby Cadabby. And the characters refused to engage with them and other Black guests. Burns says the performers were more than happy to engage with the white customers at the same event. And we saw clips of these sort of random weird examples of that. Here's a clip of the lawyer listing their demands.
Is this Crump? Oh, no, that's another lawyer.
And we also have a message to SeaWorld. Compensate this family. Compensate the families that you have aggrieved.
I like the tie.
Give us all the information on complaints that you have received from families and work with us to uphold the civil rights of Black people all over this country. We have demanded compensatory damages, punitive damages, as well as declaratory and injunctive relief in our class action lawsuit, and we see fit to move forward with a jury trial in this matter in the federal district courts here in Philadelphia.
A jury trial.
All right. These fucking race hustlers. They're so fucking sick. Crump, the guy's the worst. That's not Crump. I always like it when the lawyers get up there and they go, Here's what we want. You want money. Fine. That's what you want. But don't give the thing like, we didn't ask for this. These kids are traumatized because now they're in the spotlight. It's like, yeah, because you're having a fucking press conference,
How'd they get there?
grifter.
Well, and the little girl's standing next to him.
We could have dodged this bullet.
Well, and if there's some weird shit going on at Sesame Place, like, by all means, correct it.
Well, I will say this. It is impossible. So if we are on a racist hunt, like which we are in this country, there's no doubt, news outlets, people, we're just on a hunt to find racism. If we find Bubba Wallace's noose hanging from his pit garage, that was a whole FBI investigation. We got the fucking border guys who's beating the Haitians and all the fight. If we're not on a fucking hunt for it, then why are we talking about it so much? You don't know shit about what went on the border. You got a couple guys on horses. You got Haitians. You got the guys mounted, go doing things. Why is everyone grabbing a microphone, from the president to the vice president to everyone else, grabbing a microphone and yelling, this is a heinous act, it can't be tolerated? If you're not on the hunt for it, then why are you talking? Go look into it. Talk to the fucking photographer that took the pictures. We're on a hunt for it. Fine. You're ruining the nation. You're hurting the nation. Okay, you get more votes by fooling black people. Fine. But you're ruining the fucking nation. You're killing people. But all right, you'll give up a few people. And the notion that will convince every young black man there's a target on his back. I get what you're doing. You're a politician. You're trying to get votes. You're a fucking grifter attorney. You're trying to get paid. Fine. But we're on the hunt for it. Now, this amusement park, if the criteria for racism is we have pictures of guys who have no peripheral vision, who are overheating, walking past black kids and high-fiving, you could also provide 7,000 hours of them doing a high-five of the black kid and walking past a white kid. This is not, it's going to be difficult to prove, but we love it so much and we're on such a hunt for it. We have such a weird, macabre appetite for racism that we're going to go along with it.
My favorite example in the history of examples is the exercise park. Was it San Francisco?
Yes.
Where they were putting, they said, no investigation needed. I'm a black guy and I just wanted to exercise.
Well, that's the other thing, too. It's the mayor of Oakland.
And it looked like...
Still moved ahead with her wanting to know if those exercise hoops that were placed there by a black man were nooses or not. So they're still moving ahead. The horseback mounted Border Patrol guys who never hit any Haitians with their reins, they've been cleared of that, but they're looking for other stuff. They're going to do administrative stuff. So you're just going to will yourself right? So you come out and call these guys who work for our government racist, and then it turns out you're wrong. So instead of apologizing, you go, oh, they fucked up with some of their time cards. We're going to bust them. We're going to bust them so we're right.
No.
That's a fucking scary government right there. Just fucking eat it, loudmouths. You called guys. You know who fucking stopped the Vivaldi shooting? Border Patrol. They finally showed up and fucking killed that guy who was in that classroom. All the other local cops were huddled in the hall getting hand sanitizer. Border Patrol guys. You got guys on horses trying to guard our border, and you're calling them racist. But there's no agenda? You have no other thoughts. This is just what you see. But you all see the same thing, but it didn't happen. And then you clear them, but you still got to get them in trouble because you've got to be, because you can't apologize. You can't come back. All right. I fucking hope those guys sue the fuck out of you, by the way. And I'm not litigious, but I like everyone suing everyone who's being called everything on CNN and everything else. Anyway. All right. More racism. 2022. Here we go. Jesus Christ.
Greg, thoughts?
I went to this Sesame Street place, and the Grouch fucking stole my bike. He took a shit on my bag.
Oh my God.
So, and I'm white. So
you got to join the suit.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we got to investigate the Sesame Street place.
Is this the Sesame Street
It's called
place?
Sesame Place. It's their amusement park, whatever.
All right.
By the way, did you guys see the trailer for Till, the Emmett Till story?
Oh.
That's going to go up there in my Boys Don't Cry category of movies I don't need to see. I'm already on board.
107% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I
If that thing is not in the high 90s,
It's going to be a crime.
Yeah.
yes.
I'm not the one that needs to change. I can't see it. It's too horrible.
Yeah.
I've never seen
No.
Boys Don't Cry. I'm not the one you need to convince.
No, I agree.
Let's talk about something horrific happening in Japan. You know, people make jokes about, like, I didn't have monkeypox on my bingo card. Well, now there's a troop of monkeys in the city of Yamaguchi that's been attacking humans for no reason. They're not even looking for food. They're going after the elderly, and they're even trying to sneak into nurseries and snatch babies. They're monkeys.
Fitzdog.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think of this hypothesis.
Yeah.
I have said Jeff Bezos, get into outer space. Elon Musk, outer space. Richard Branson, outer space. The three richest, smartest guys on the planet are feverishly trying to figure out how to get the fuck off the planet. They're relentless.
They know what's up.
They're relentless. They know something. Monkeys are attacking tourists. The fucking Ukraine's on fire. We got,
Right.
we
The
got
planet's on
hate
fire.
crimes going down Sesame Street.
Las Vegas out of water.
They know
Hard Rock
something.
Cafe is flooded.
Yeah.
You don't think they know things? You don't
Yeah.
think they have access to
Yeah.
information that we don't get from the USA Today?
This is very don't look up.
They know shit.
Yeah.
They know
Everybody's
stuff.
trying to get out. I was just reading this article about Mexico City and how many Americans have gone to Mexico
Yes,
City
I
because
saw
they
that.
can get cheap apartments there.
Yes.
And fucking the Mexicans are like, get the fuck out of our country.
Build
So
that wall.
Yeah.
Build that fucking wall. And the same thing, you go to Costa Rica, you go to Australia, like Americans
Yeah.
are annoying everybody because we're getting scared to get out.
And we're getting out of the United
Rica's the
States,
best.
and Mexico's pissed, but turnabout's fair play,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two. And by the way, we keep going. Where's our fucking Alvera Street? Where's Honky Avenue over there?
Mm.
Come on now.
That's right.
Kid Rock's got a bar.
Where's our Sesame Street?
So it's on.
Yeah.
It is nigh. The apocalypse is nigh.
You heard it.
All right, let's bring it home, Gina.
You got it. I'm Gina Grad, and that's the news. Disappointing people is my central trauma.
Gina Grad.
It's also true.
That was the news with Gina Grad.
Well, Fitzdog's got a podcast called Fitzdog Radio. It's available wherever you listen to podcasts, and then Sunday Papers as well, hosted by him and Mike Gibson. Also, shoot him a tweet at Greg Fitz Show. And can we go to a website to find out live dates? We got Jonathan's coming up.
Fitzdog.com.
Fitzdog.com. Always good to talk to you, my friends. Salt Lake City, Utah. Wise Guys, me doing comedy there and a podcast there, August 26th, 27th. And the new book, Everything Reminds Me of Something. Check it out. It is very funny. And until next time, it's Adam Carolla for Fitzdog and Gina Grad and Ball Bryan. Say it. Mahala. Fitzdog Radio is the podcast. Good to see you, Fitzdog.
Hey guys, and it's really exciting to chime in from my office because I get so turned on by you, Adam, and I have no pants on, and let's just see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, let's throw caution and possibly semen to the wind.
Yeah.